Alafu niende kwa YouTube, view on YouTube, so that wengine to disappoint shenzi kabisa. Sawa tu, we're still running. So this one is okay, it is live.
All right.
So you can see, now you can see it is okay.
Let me see. So share the YouTube, the new link now.
Yes, let me share the new YouTube link so that Lawrence, you are good.
Okay.
I think we are good.
All right. So it is sharing
Because
on
from my
YouTube.
yes. So let me
All
share the link so that
we can begin.
we can begin. Let me close the. Now we are good. We can continue. So you
All
can
right.
first of all do a small introduction in just do a small introduction before I share all the message to other people.
Okay.
And,
So
and maybe you can tell them to comment.
yes, you have shared the link with everyone.
Yes, we are right.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Lawrence Onyaka from TVET LMS. I wish to welcome all of you to this stream, to this keynote address session, where we'll be highlighting the new and upcoming updates on TVET LMS that are being used already and some that will be available for the next term for all institutions. Our goal or our slogan is to train the smart way. Our goal is to make sure that every trainer, wherever they are, is training with the latest or the best technology available, with access to all the resources they can have. The goal is to work together with you as our partners to provide the best resources and the best technology so that we can be able to train efficiently, reduce a lot of work, and reduce costs for our trainers, our institutions, and even our students. So back to you, Joel.
So thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you for those who have joined. We have a lot, and sorry for the delay that we had. We had to share the link. The first one that we had some issues, but we thank God that we are back, and we are good to go. So we are going to start, and we have a lot that is installed for you. So I will get back to you, Lawrence, so that you start with an overview of how system looks like, and then from there you can look at different accounts, how the different accounts that we have for the different users. Then I will come in and look at student accounts, how to do the uploading of POE, and we'll have a demo of one of the institutions. So, Lawrence, welcome.
Yes, I'll be sharing my screen shortly. So yeah, um, TVET LMS is designed to be as easy as possible for the everyday trainer, the everyday student, the everyday administrator of any TVET institution in the country. This is our homepage. And first things first, the most important information that you can find here is the about us, where you can be able to find the fastest solutions to how you can do stuff on TVET LMS, including the implementation process for an institution and how you can reach to us through our different channels, including email and calls. And the other very important part is the contact us page, where you can be able to reach to us through our different channels, and you can also reach out to us from our direct messaging platform, where you can message us through this form here. You can send us an email, and you can also call us. This is because if you are to try to get into the system to log in as an administrator, as a trainer, you find yourself locked out for any reason, if you contact us through our channels, we will be able to help you instantly. Today we will be covering the powerful features that we have, the examination management and generation, the document generation and sharing. We'll also talk about administrative features and data modeling so that you can get the insights from how the LMS is being used in your institution. We are committed to quality, and the trainer and the trainee are the center of our implementation. Once you get into the system, you can log in. And if you do not have an account, you can sign up from this page here. So you can click sign up. Similarly, you can basically just click sign up. Now, the features are the sign up allows you to sign up as a trainer or as a student. Now, basically, trainers and students can also be added by the administrators of the institutions, but the administrators, the HODs, are created by the administrators of the institutions, who are created by us. So once we have implemented the system in your institution, we will be creating the first accounts and for, of course, enabling the security features that we have. Therefore, once you get into the TVET LMS homepage, the next thing you will do is to log in or create an account if you do not have one. Basically, you could be able to create an account even if your institution is not on the system as an individual account. The process is simple and straightforward. If you are to create an account, you just basically write your name and your phone number. Let's say, then you add your email address. Let's say, and then your password, the password that you will remember. Make sure that the password matches, and then you can select your institution, and then select your department and registration number. So registration number, you type basically based on whether you have an active number in your institution. If you don't, you can leave it blank. That way, you can complete your registration and your account will be created. And if your institution has as a trainer, your institution is expected to be able to approve you, because trainers must be approved, of course, for security purposes. Once your account is approved, you will be able to log in. You will be able to log in, and you can just go to login and use the email that you just created and the password that you just created, and you will be logged in to the dashboard as a trainer. On your dashboard, you will be able to get the features of all trainers, including examination management, where you can create exams. You can view past exams from other trainers from the CDAC. You can also view the examination series. You can grade submissions from your students. You can view the progress of your students. Then you can also manage examination results. That is the results that, or the marks, or the grades that you have given to your students. You can add questions into the database. You can add practical tasks, generate questions with AI. You can also be able to add questions in bulk, view questions maybe for revision purposes, view practical tasks, generate tasks with AI. And this is a very important feature also, a new addition. You can be able to create and manage practical summative mark sheets that are sent to the institutions to be able to be performed in the institutions. So basically, you create so that you can have a record and have a standard export that can be shared with the examination body. On the trainers file, this is where you place your documents. This is your personal file where you select the units that you are training in that particular term. We have the main assessments page, a very important part, because it's where you track the students that you are training and place your e-portfolio. You can be able to view what they have uploaded from their end, etc. The modular assessments is now, as we roll in the modular curriculum, it is similar to main assessment, but it allows you to focus on the modular training and the modular units. Then you can generate learning plans with AI. You can also be able to access you can be able to access our learning plans, the ones that have been generated, so that you can customize them and use them. Our goal, as we said, is to share resources, to be able to have to use technology to make our work as trainers, as trainees, as administrators easier. This part is for viewing the curriculum to make sure that it conforms with the provided occupational standards. You can add a unit if you do not find it in the database. You can add a curriculum. This is important for you to be able to generate the documentation and the examinations. And we have the e-portfolio page. For e-portfolio, it can also be performed through the main assessments page. We have the manage attendance for attendance, view session plans for session plans. You can view the session plans that have already been created for you, and you can have the option to generate new session plans with AI. You can generate a session plan with AI with this by clicking on this button. You can generate an assessment plan, of course, records of work, and you can view the created records of work to see whether you can customize them to fit your current training allocation. The other section allows you to add a unit, view unit information, get random questions. This is when you are training. You can get notes, and you can be able to have on-demand notes through our powerful AI algorithms. You can view your own profile, and you can be able to help your students with accounts. This is a very important feature because students will often have issues with their accounts, and they will come to you as a trainer to help them with their accounts. I'm going to log out as a trainer, and I'm going to create another account as a trainee. Mostly, the students will need to be created by the administrators. For this demo, we allowed students. So for this demo, students will be auto-approved. Now, of course, trainers require auto-approval. And once the students have created an account, from your administrations page, you can be able to identify the issues with the accounts and help them. Now, I'm going to create an account. Let's say the first name is Jen. As a student, and the phone number is important if you ever need to reach them. Then we have the email address. Then we have the password. You create a password that you remember. Then you select the institution again, and the department. And then once you have selected the department, you'll notice that for students, they are expected to select the major, which is the course that they are doing, and the intake, which is the intake of the institution to which they were enrolled in. The registration number, they will, as you can see here, or admission number, they will add their registration number or their admission number based on the mode of registration that is provided by their institution. And then we added a confirmation module so that they can confirm that indeed the details they entered are the details that they have been given by their institution, that they are correct. And once they have confirmed, the account is created successfully, and they can log in with the email and the password that they created. Students have access to multiple features. Of course, one showing the units that they are doing, and another one those where they can be able to go to the unit and view the topics and the notes. They can view revision questions and practical tasks that they can have. They will be able to view their profile, make sure that the connection is correct, and they can connect with their Google Drive to be able to uh, submit their e-portfolios or their portfolio of evidence through our secure Google Cloud. They can also view their courses, so their units that they are learning, the revision questions, notes, sessions. This is based on the sessions that have been created, and they will be able to view their assignments and another very important module called assessments, where they are able to view and upload their curricula, their POEs. Then they can be able to view their modular performance and be able to download their transcripts from the grading that has happened within the system. Here they can see reports of their performance, and they can be able to see how or if any issues with their subscription, which they can contact the support and the administrator of the institution if they are locked out. They can view their portfolio and of course their Google Drive connection. TVET LMS is powered by Google Cloud for storage, backups, and security features. Now, that is an overview of what we'll be covering. We'll be going to get back to you, Mr. Joel.
So thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence, and thank you for that. Next, having that we are able to create classes, having that we are able to know how our system looks like, how you create an account. So in our next item, what we are going to do, we are going to I hope we need to go direct. If Lawrence, I don't know whether I should do that. I want to go direct to student account and uploading of POE. Should I do that?
Yes, you can proceed.
So from this account, we'll have, let's log into one of the accounts, student account. So for a student account, let me have student account. So let me log in with this account. Let me see. So this is one of the trainees account, and it says welcome to one of these. This is an institution that you've created. So this account shows the units that has been allocated. This student is in ICT technician level 6, and he's in January 2026 intake, and he has 2 units. That is computer essentials and computer operation. That is module 1. So this student, at the end of the day, we want to see whether we can be able to upload its portfolio, the portfolio of evidence, and from the other end, we are able to, as a trainer, we can be able to look at the POE and be able to continue, mark them, and be able to generate the mark sheet. So the dashboard for the student will have the profile. We have my courses, revision notes. So revision notes is where we have some notes that are being generated by AI. So you can have some revision notes for this student. So you just click over there, and the student will just look at one of the units and then select if the notes have been generated by the trainer, so the notes will just appear over here. But for now, the notes have not yet been generated by the trainer, so the notes are not available here. Then you have my notes, then you have my sessions, my assignment, then modular performance, then you have report, my subscription, and e-portfolio. So the most important thing over here, I want to look at my assessment. So if the student will come over here and click on my assessment. So once he clicks on my assessment, then what will happen is that it will load the units that the student is doing. Like an example, already these units have, but we are going to do a submission of these units. So we are going to upload one of the files here. So we have practical one, then next work, practical two, and the other one is practical three. Then from there, we'll have an oral one, then we have oral two, and then we have an oral three. So those, and then for the computer essentials, so these are all the units. So we are starting with computer operations here. Then from there, we go to computer operation, computer operation. Remember, every unit, either it's computer essentials, computer operation, we must have a practical and an oral. So like the first one, the student on the dashboard will come over here because already this one had already been submitted, but it is the same process at a click upper update. So he will upload the file, and then he will select if it is an exam. Let me just pick one over here. Let me pick this one. And the system will automatically upload. It will automatically upload this and then be able to submit. So there is no time that the student will have issues of maybe doing this or doing that or doing that. So the system will just automatically upload, and once it is done uploading, then it is supposed to do what? The next thing it is going to upload the document very fast. So based on your network, then that is it. So over here we have a message, success. So it has been submitted and you say okay. So that assignment which is over here, which is a practical, has been submitted. So the student will submit all of this. So on the other end, and if you look at it, this assignment has not been graded. So computer operation practical one has not been graded. So the student will upload all of them, all this. And remember, these are not uploaded ones. So the moment you give maybe computer operation practical one, then that is the time, maybe at the first 2 weeks, that is the time you upload the first one. The student will upload the first one. Then after some time, we upload the second one. Then after some time, then they upload the next one. So it is cumulatively at the end of the day, then they will have uploaded all the document. And then the student can be able to view what they have uploaded. Let me share the whole screen so that you're able to see rather than sharing the tab. Let me share the whole screen. Let me remove first, and let me share just a minute. Just a minute. Let me reshare it again. Let me add to the stage. Let me remove this one. I want to add the whole layout so that you're able to see. Let me share again. Let me share the screen, and I want to share the entire screen so that you're able to see. Sorry. this is what has been submitted, and I hope you can be able to see. Lawrence, you can be able to confirm that. So over here, so the moment you click on view, then this one will what will have been submitted by the student. So these are the mark, whatever has been marked by the trainer, and the marks being awarded. So this trainer has scored 70, 74. So on the other end, so this is what has been submitted. It has everything. So everything that has been submitted, it was a practical session. It was a practical. So this is what has been submitted by the student, and it is marked, and it has an evidence at the end. So what will happen is that, let me log out as a trainer and log in as a trainee. Let me log out as a trainee and log in as a trainer. So let me log in as a trainer here. So this is the trainer's dashboard. So if I come over here, remember we've been taken through the trainer's dashboard. So if I come over here, there is a file of, over here, manage assessment. So if you click on manage assessment, then this is the class that we have, ICT technician level 6, that have been assigned by the HOD. So I click on it, and I have some students, so click on it. Remember, we had one student who have done the submission, so click on view, and let me close this one. So this is for the student we have talked about, the ICT trainee, and his name is, this is the demo that we are using. So let's check whether this is the correct details that has been submitted, or the correct. So this is the same person, that is 74. So 74. So what you do, once you go through the document and you make sure that the document is okay, you go page by page and you make sure that everything is okay. So you'll come over here, we grade. So over here, it's where we are grading. So we grade, this person has 70, it is 70 what? 74. So we grade, he has 74, and we can have even a feedback to him. So we can tell him, good work, and keep it up. So these are feedback mechanism that you're doing to the student. So these are feedback mechanism that you're doing to the student, because already you've ascertained that this is what you give the student, and they did as it was required, and the student has attained 74, and 74, you are ascertain that this was the best marks. So you come over here and click on save. Once you save, these marks will be reflected on the student dashboard. You look at it, it has been graded, and it is 70, 74. Now, if I reshuffle down to the trainees dashboard very fast, let me go to the trainees dashboard so that you see what you've done. So login. Let me log in as a trainee on trainees dashboard. And so we need to see whether, we need to see whether this trainee was awarded the correct marks. So I'll come over here to my assignment as a trainee, and if I look at it, this was what I did, and I've been given 70, 74, and there is a feedback over here that has been done, and my trainer gave me told me good work and keep it up. So that shows that there is that communication between the trainer and the trainee. So this one has been given. So you're going the trainee, as the trainee continue uploading the marks, continue uploading the the exams. Then on the other end, the trainer will continue going on story by story, awarding the marks. And as he awards the marks, then uh, there is something that will be developed, and this is what will happen. So once the max has been or the trainer has uploaded all the for the all the units, this is what is going to happen. Let me log in as a trainer, sorry, so that you see trainer. So on the trainers over here, main assessment. So if you come over here, so this is what will happen. So we can be able to generate something that you call a mark sheet over here. So there is a mark sheet here, and this mark sheet is what we issue to the TVET SIGDAC people who comes over here, who comes to our institution to check what we've been doing. So we've already done. So this is the trainer that we are talking about. So this is the trainer that we are talking about. So he earned 78, no, this 75, 78, 99, 49, 59, and all that. And then to the end, he has been given accumulatively the marks over here. So at one point, maybe you can see if you maybe you are not comfortable, or there are some changes. Maybe this person called Rose had an issue, and he scored, instead of 78, he scored 79. Then you can come over here and have an edit mode. There is an edit mode here. So you click on edit mode, and this one will change to edit mode. So you can come over here and do some changes, like this person called Rose. So we can have maybe he scored 79. Once you have your changes over here, these changes will be effected, and then you can go back to the view mode, and then you can do save changes. So those changes will be reflected over here. That is 79 that already we have changed. We go back to the view mode, and we have, for the rows, we have given 79. Now once you're done with that, so once, remember that this student, we have practical 1, practical 2, practical 3, then you have oral 1, and then you have an average here. So as you continue, the moment they upload practical 1, then the marks, as they being awarded by the trainer. Practical 2, marks will be awarded by the trainer. Practical 3, marks will be awarded by the trainer. Then you have oral 1, marks will be awarded by the trainer. Oral 2, oral 3, and oral 3. And then we have, on the left hand side, we have the average, which is over here. And that is a very great milestone. Now once you're able to, all of them, maybe you awarded all the students, then you export over here. We are going to export. So the moment you export, what will happen is that it is going to generate, as you look over here, it has generated something that is downloadable. Let's see. So let's see. So this is what it has been downloaded. So this is a mark sheet. Sorry, this is a mark sheet. So this is a mark sheet, and this mark sheet, it is for that whole class, computer essentials. Then it will show you the group, and then we'll have the date, and the mark sheet will be, it has the oral 1, oral 2, oral 3, and then we have the average for oral practical 1, practical 2, and the average for that. And I hope you can be able to see very well. Then once all of them they are done, then you can print this one and issue to the HOD or your HOD for the filing. Once the CDAC profession who comes to check on the POE comes, they can be able to reference on this. So that is the easiest way of uploading. The student uploads the mark, and then once they upload the mark, they upload the scanned document of the exam. Once they upload that document, then the trainers will mark, and once they mark, they will a mark sheet will be generated, and also once they generate a mark sheet, that mark sheet will be downloaded and then issued to the relevant personnel in the institution. Now, if we go back to the trainer, at the end of the day, the trainer has to get something. So, if let me just log out. Let me go to the trainees file. So on the trainees dashboard, there is something over here called modular performance. So if he clicks on modular performance, he will be able to see his performance. An example, sorry for that. An example, computer essentials, he has is in terms of performance, that is, it is an average of 68% and another average of 72%. Now, how do I ascertain? Because we are going to look at this one progressively. This is module one. Module one, we have the practical being awarded 90 practical, and oral, it is 10%. Then practical average is this, oral average is this, and the unit that is having is 2 units. So computer essentials and
I believe Mr. Joel is having network issues. See whether will get him back so that we can continue. Yes. So what he was presenting is the POE analysis. While we wait for him to get back, I will continue presenting from my end. Now, let me share my screen. Yes, I have it here. So back here, I'm going to log out from the students page, and I'm going to log in as the trainer. This is it's not correct. Uh, yes, Joel, welcome back.
So in every module, sorry for that, we had an as I had a small issue. So in every module, let me share my screen. So in every module, like module 1 over here, I hope Lawrence, I'm okay, right? Lawrence, I'm okay.
Yes, please share your screen.
Okay,
Yes,
I've
it's fine.
shared.
It's fine.
So in every module, sorry for that. In every module, so this is module 1. This is where I left. I think this is where I left from. So this is module 1 and module 2, as I had said, module 2, then module 3, then module 4, up to the last module. So in module 1, over here, we said we have 2 units. That sorry, for module 1, we had 2 units: computer essentials and computer operations. And already the trainee has uploaded the exams, and then the trainer has marked the exam. So we can come over here and the student can view the details, the summary of his grading, how the grading was being done, practical 1, that is practical 1, what he achieved, practical 2, what was the achievement, and the practical 3, the achievement. Then oral 1 and oral 2 and up to the last one. Then for computer operations, the same case, practical 1, practical 2, and practical 3, oral 1, oral 2, and oral 3. Now, something that's very good for the student is that over here they can be able to download a transcript. So they can come over here. So this one is generating a beautiful modular transcript, and a transcript will be downloaded, as you can see. So if you click over here, you can see a transcript that has been downloaded. So the student we were talking about, so this is the logo for the institution, module 1 provision transcript, and then the admission number, intake, then student name, and all the information that pertains that student. Then the awarding or the grading of the student. So computer essentials, what was in terms of practical. So what will happen is that it will pick all the practicals, it will get the average. So it is going to pick the average of the 3 exams. So the first assessment 1, assessment 2, assessment 3 practicals will pick the average. Then for oral, it is going to pick the average of oral 1, oral 2, oral 3. And that's the reason you're seeing 55.3 and 80 point. And then for computer essentials, because remember, we are talking about 3 assessment for either a practical or an oral. Once those one has been done, remember, for practical, it is supposed to be 90%. It is supposed to contribute to 90%. So this one will be converted to 90%. This one will be converted to 90% for practical for both computer essentials and computer operation. Then for oral, it is going to contribute 10%. 10%. That is this one will be converted to 5%, and then 5% over here. And then we have our final marks. Our final marks, which we have over here. And then we have our remarks. Either this person is competent, not yet competent, and all that. So we have the remarks on the other side, and then we have the final grade of this person. So, and then we have the grading system that has been embedded over here. So we have the grading system that is embedded over here. And then we have authentication token. So this authentication token, it is to certify that this transcript, it is authentic. So that is all about the moment the student uploads a transcript, uploads the exams or their exams. on the portal. Either it is an oral or a practical, and then up to the end, whereby the trainer will be able to award the marks. Once they award the marks, they can be able to generate this, what you have talked about. They can be able to generate this mark sheet. And once they are able to generate the mark sheet, then from there we can have the student getting a provisional transcript. From there, I will take it back to Lawrence, and later I will come in for the registers, how you mark attendance. I will come in for the attendance because we are going to do the attendance for the same student. I will come in for the attendance and some other. So back to you, Lawrence, so that you can continue. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Joel. Um, in this session, I'm going to introduce the features of document generation and examination generation and administration for the trainer. I will be going through the trainer's dashboard basically. So I'm going to log in as a trainer. Password. Yes, this is the trainer's dashboard. Now the way we operate with the hierarchy. The hierarchy starts from now the examination body or the national TVET. Then, of course, we begin at the institute. The institute is the top, and then below that we have the department, and then below the department we have the trainer. So at the top we have the institute, at the below the top, that is below the institute, we have the department, and below the department we have what we call we have the major, or the course that the trainee is undertaking. Now, of course, below the major we have the unit, and below the unit, or what the unit is divided into, the unit is divided into, in the past we would call them topics and subtopics, and we still be referring to them like that, but please note that we refer to them as elements and performance criteria. So from the top again, I say we have the institution, followed by the department, which is headed by the HOD, followed by the major, which is now which is covered by the trainer, and then we have the unit, of course, covered by a specific trainer, and then we have the topic and subtopic, and that is one of the most important information or that you need to have to be able to understand how TVET LMS works. I'm going to search for a specific unit here. So I can select manage database systems. As you can see, this unit does not have any curriculum. You can notice that it does not have any curriculum, but if I search for another unit that perhaps has a curriculum, this one has a curriculum. The curriculum is 6 topics and 32 subtopics. We have here you can select learning plans. You can view a learning plan here and you can find it. You can be able to find session plans. based on the number of sessions that is expected or the number of hours that is expected to be trained in that particular term. Then you can find assessment plans based on the number of exams that is expected to be trained on that particular term. And then you can find the records of work again based on the number of the sessions that is expected to be trained on that particular term. And then you can find exams again based on these units. What does it mean when you find that the number is 1, 2, 3, 12 learning plans available? It basically means that a trainer had generated this learning plan before you, and you can fully customize, or you can use this learning plan to you can use it to adjust, so you can customize it and use it for yourself. Well, the goal is to share resources, and having them available for you is what is important. But if you are not happy with that particular learning plan, for example, let me go again to that same unit. You can be able to just go ahead and generate your own learning plan with AI. So, for example, if you had 2 sessions per week and now you want 4, or maybe you are from your institution, you train with 3 sessions, then you can generate your own. And since we'll save it, the next trainer that comes to find this learning plan, they can be able to get it and customize it, and they can also be able to generate their own learning plan. Now, I'm going to begin with the curriculum. Like I said, some units have a curriculum, but some do not have. In the next section, I'm going to show you how you can add a curriculum if you find that the unit that you are looking for example, this one, this one does not have a curriculum. If you find that it doesn't have a curriculum, you can be able to add your own curriculum. But for now, I'm going to show you what happens when you have a curriculum in the system. Remember that the curriculum is the core of training. The curriculum being the core of training, you should be able to develop learning plan from that curriculum. The curriculum is derived from the occupational standards. So you being able to get to generate a learning plan from the curriculum manually, but since our system has a very powerful AI-powered algorithm, it should help you to create that or to generate a learning plan from that. Now, once we get to subtopics, for us to train, we start with creating these documents. And to be able to create a learning plan, you basically come to your trainer's files, or that is what we call documents, and you go to generate learning plan with AI. Remember, we checked and we were not satisfied with the learning plan that we found on that for that particular unit. So I'm going to select level 5, and I select the major ICT technician level 5, and I select the unit manage operating system, and the system notifies me that this unit already has one existing learning plan. By the way, since the system has been used by very many trainers, you are likely to find the learning plan you are looking for without the need to generate a new one. If you click on this button, you will view the learning plans that are already available. This particular process is if there is no learning plan in the system, or if you are not satisfied with the learning plan that you have found there. The learning plan that was there had 2 sessions per week, but I wanted 4. Therefore, I'm going to write my name as the trainer that is handling that particular unit, and I will select the class or group that I'm training. So the class or group is basically that combination of class that you have. The one that says I'm training this class or this group, the majors of ICT Technician Level 5, the intake of January 2026, for example. So I'll say ICT Level 5 2026 January. So we can say January 2026 intake. And since I wanted 4 sessions and not 2, I'm going to click on Generate Learning Plan. The system will immediately kick off its AI-powered algorithm to start generating a learning plan that you can use. This process, since we made sure that it goes through the trained model, all the content and it covers all the elements. It generates a very comprehensive learning plan. Therefore, it may take some time. As it can tell you, this process may take between 5 to 8 minutes. So once you wait, or as you wait, you can view some of our features. But I'm going to log in I'm going to log in through another browser as we wait for the learning plan to be generated. Suppose I made a little mistake. Yes. Now, as it generates the learning plan, you can always come back and view the progress. As it generates the learning plan, you can be able to generate a session plan. So the first document that you make for you to be able to train that particular unit during that semester or that term is the learning plan. The next document that you make is the session plan. The first thing, of course, that you'll do, you can search for the unit that you're looking for. I'm going to select Manage Operating Systems. And I can view the session plans that are there. You can see they are organized here from week 1, session 1, week 1, session 2, up to week 12, session 2. Because the particular learning plan that was used was for week, that is 12 weeks, of course, for the term, but 2 sessions per term. You can be able to search for any other unit from any department. Let's say Department of Electrical. Yes, any department basically. Let's say Basic Science Principles. You see there's no curriculum, so, and there's no learning plan, no session plan. Here is where you come and generate new ones. Let me look for another one. Let's say provide. Yes, this one you'll find that it has a curriculum, and the learning plans, it has a learning plan, and it has 48 session plans. For example, if you are training this particular group for that particular term and that unit, you will be able to select these session plans and customize them for yourself. As you can see, they are very comprehensive, and you can view and it follows the BOPS structure. That is the bridging, the outcome, the pre-assessment, the participatory learning, post-assessment, and the summary. That way, you will be able to download this particular session plan for yourself, and we download it as PDF. And once you have downloaded it, you can be able to see that the session plan has a bridging, it has a learning outcome, it has pre-assessment, it has participatory learning, and it has post-assessment, feedback, and summary. Of course, you can get any session plan for any unit that you are looking for. If you click the button, View Session Plans, this is, yes, View Session Plans. So this is the generation of a session plan. I will generate based on the learning plan that we are generating. You can find all the session plans that have been created, and you can see that the system already has 14,000 session plans. So it is likely that what you are looking for is here. If you filter, let's go to level 6. If you filter with a different, yes, if you filter, you will see the session plans that are already there. So if you are looking for session plan for, let's say, week 5 session 2, you can just come and download it and open it. And since it was generated by a different presenter or by a different trainer, you can just come here and change your name. If you are okay with the content, let's say Lawrence, and that's it. You will have your own session plan, and you can be able to use it to train, and of course for submissions that you may need. I want to check to see, yes, the learning plan has already been generated. As you can see now, it has 4 sessions, completely 4 sessions per week for the 12 weeks that a term has. It has already been saved, and you can download it as a Word document. And once it has been downloaded, you can see it comes with all the details of your institution. It comes with the institutional header, the details, the skill, job or task, benchmarks, and the schedule. This is the standard learning plan that is expected for the trainers to develop. And with this learning plan, you can be able to generate session plans. Now, if you have a manual learning plan, you can generate session plans manually. But since the system learns from the data that has been fed into the AI model, you can be able to generate your own session plans from that particular learning plan that you created. Remember that your learning plan or your plan that you have, the plan that you have has 4 sessions. The plan that you have has 4 sessions. You wanted 4 because the other trainer had 2. Therefore, you can just come here and generate your own session plans by clicking the button, Generate Session Plan with AI. Now, I'm going to select the department, level 5, select the major, which is ICT Technician level 5, yes, and select the unit that I want. Remember, I selected Manage Operating Systems, and I will choose a learning plan. This one was the original, the one that had 2 sessions, and this one is the one that I just generated. It comes with your name, so you will be able to know which one you generated. The session date, now once you do that, it will list the sessions in the learning plan, as you can see. These are 48 sessions with week 1 session 1 up to week 1 session 4, and the whole learning plan up to week 12 session 4. You select the date here. You can edit. The system will select your name. You can edit the name if you want. And you can edit the session duration based on how many hours your session or your institution has for the sessions. You select AI generated because you want it to be clear than a template based. The template based fetches the details as they are in the learning plan. The AI generated one is able to use the model or the data that has been trained to generate a comprehensive session plan. And you click generate session plan. You wait for a few seconds as the system generates part one. As you can see, the AI generated session plan was created successfully. And this is the session plan. It is very comprehensive. It covers what is needed. And most importantly, it sticks to the OS. Remember, the learning plan was generated from the curriculum. And our AI models have been trained to make sure that whatever document they are generating is standard. To generate the next one, you could just click on it and generate. And it has been generated. So this is the one for week 2. And once it's done, you can download it as, yes, for week 2. You can download it as Word if you want to customize it. Yes, the session plan for manage operating system. As you can see, we customized the name. And we are still in week 1. It follows the BOPs, including the bridging. Yes, and these are customized. The next session plan will have a different way to bridging. So we have actually learned so much because we can get what trainers from different parts of the world do. But generating one session plan at a time will be tiresome. It may not be able to be, you may not be able to click on one and do that. So what we have added recently is a batch generation feature. The batch generation allows you to generate all the session plans from a particular learning plan. So it helps you to generate all the missing session plans from a particular learning plan. I have refreshed so that we can fetch the two that we have generated. So this is manage operating systems, and I'm going to select the learning plan. And as you can see, we have generated for week 1, session 1 and 2. So it tells you that session plans for this learning plan exist up to week 1, session 2. The total existing are 2. If all you needed were these ones that have already been generated, you can go to view and download them. But you may want to continue to generate the rest. It may take some time, but it is a batch generation that will generate all the session plans with a single click of a button. So you can basically come here. It tells you that there are 2 existing plans, the ones that we just generated, and the missing plans are 46. So by clicking this button, you will be able to generate the missing 46 sessions. So I'm going to click on it and it will start the batch operations. As you can see, it starts with generating the first one up to the last one. This may take some time, so as it does that, I'm going to continue to our next module. Now, this was us generating a learning plan, and we were able to generate it and download it. What if you need it later? If you need this learning plan later, you don't have to download them and keep them in a folder because we save them for you. We are hoping to reduce your work. So if you ever need your learning plan, you can just come here to view learning plans and you will find it here. Basically, it is the first one, but you can also be able to filter. You want computing and informatics level 5, ICT technician level 5, manage operating systems, and it will show you this is the original, the old learning plan that had 2 sessions per week. Let me view it. That had 2 sessions per week, but you can view yours, the one that has that was generated by your name, that is, and that has 4 sessions per week as you wanted them. You can see it has the skill task, the benchmarks, and if you want to download it, you can download it as Word. Again, we had already done that, and you can preview it, you can customize it, you can edit it, and you can share it. Now, I'll go back to the dashboard and introduce the next part, which is the records. That is, now after you have generated the learning plan, the session plan, the next document that you may need is the records of work. Now that you have gone to class using your learning plan and your session plan, you need to be able to generate records of work. So you come here and you will find the generate records of work with the I button. Once you are on this page, you can view existing records. You can look for whether the unit you want is there. For example, and then we have manage operating systems, and you can go for this particular learning plan and you will find that there are no records found. If they are not there, you can generate your records. So what do? You come to the page, select the level, select the major, select the unit, manage operating systems, select the learning plan. Remember, it's the one that we generated today. Of course, it has a date so that you can be able to identify it from the list. Remember, you need 4 records for each week since our learning plan has 4 sessions per week. And you can select to generate for all sessions or only missing or a certain week range. For example, if you wanted to generate for the week range of the first week to the last week, I'm going to select all sessions, and you will be able to see that once we click generate records of work. So before we click that, you can check this button or uncheck them. This means that in your records of work document, you can have the detailed reflections written for you by AI, and you can edit them later. You can also have trainer notes written for you by AI, and you can edit them later. If you do not check the box, the AI will not write for you. Remember, this is a record of what you are supposed to do during that session. So you have the option to check the box and edit it, or no, uncheck and write it full. Once you click that, you can select generate records of work. Here it will show you the process as it happens. So it will show you, for example, for week 1 as it processes it. You will see it has completed. As you can see, you won't wait for it to generate all of them. So remember that this particular session plans are the ones that are being generated right now. That is why you can see it gets up to week 3, session 2, and you can see here, yes, it is now generating week 4, session 1, meaning that by the time we activated our records of work generation, it had only gotten to week 3, session 2. So once the session plans have been generated fully, you can come back and generate. Sometimes the errors happen if the network connection breaks. If a record of work fails to generate, don't worry, you can come back and generate all the only missing records. So let it complete. And you can see that the record of work has been generated. So what do? You can view the generated records. Let me select the course, the unit in this session, and you'll see it has week 1 session 1, week 1 session 2. Remember the week 2 session 1 failed, and you can download it as a Word document. Let me download it. But even before you download it, you can view the document. It will show you week 1 session 1, the whole point, the whole BOPS, BOPPS model, week 1 session 2, week 3 session 1, like that. Once you have downloaded, I had already downloaded it, you can open it. Yes, and you can see it here. And you can have week 1 session 1 for the records of work. You have assessment methods, PC criteria, the ones that was selected, remember, from the OS and the PC waiting document. So the OS is taken, has been fed to the model, and it checks the PC criteria. That is performance criteria, which is, remember, we called it subtopic. We have element as a topic and the performance criteria as subtopic. Then you can go to reflections. This one, you remember, you checked the box so that they can be written for you. You can go ahead and yes, and view the PC criteria here, the one that was selected for that particular session, the ones that were selected for that particular session. Remember, it can select only one if the subtopic is longer. It goes on for the weeks and until where you need it. Now I will go back to the dashboard. So that is the records of work. Remember, if you need them later, you can come to the view records of work page. You just select the filters and you will find them. Now, finally, something else you will need is something called the assessment plan. Assessment plan is a document that shows all the assessment that you are going to cover during that particular term or during you training that particular unit. And of course, we have an AI-powered algorithm to help you with that. So what do? You come to generate assessment plan. Assessment plan, of course, you will select the unit. Let me try a different unit now. Level 6, city technician, level 6, and select computer operations. What you notice is that once you have selected the unit, the system will know if there is already existing assessment plans. And if you click view, you'll find them. If you download, you can just find them and customize them. You'll see what is being tested. And yes, as you can see, it has all the details and all the practical tasks that will be covered. So we have, this is for a modular unit. We do not have written, we only have oral. So it will show you the practical tasks and how they will be done. all of them, and below here it will list the performance criteria to be assessed. If you are not happy with it, again, you can proceed. The system does not deny you from generating a different one. So you can basically, let me refresh this, select and proceed to generate a new assessment plan. So you can now, for example, you can select a different term. I'll select term 1, it's 2026. The instructor name, let me write my name. And the head of department, let me just write maybe Joel. And I can just generate the assessment plan with AI. And it takes a few minutes, not minutes, maybe just a few seconds. So the assessment plan is taken from the PC weighting criteria, or the PC weighting document that is provided to make sure that it covers the subtopics, or what we are calling the performance criteria, as instructed by CDAC. Now, while it generates, it shouldn't take very long. Yes, as you can see, the assessment plan has been generated. So assessment plan for computer operations, it goes on to say the practical tasks that will be assessed. It explains the materials that are required. For example, these are computer operations, so it only requires the computer with Microsoft Office suite, like that. The location where it will be done, and the elements that will be covered from that particular performance criteria. As you can see, below it, it lists the performance criteria to be assessed. And once that is done, you can download it, you can save it. That is why you saw the saved ones. And you can regenerate if you're not happy with what has been created. And once you open it, you'll be able to see. So you can see the Kenya National Polytechnic, just the document that we previewed. So we have covered the 4 most important documents for the trainer as you train as you select as you train this particular unit. We said the hierarchy starts from the institution, it goes to the department, to the major, then to the unit, then of course to the documents that we just did. We started with the learning plan, the session plan, followed by the records of work and the assessment plan. The next important thing that you may need to do is examination, generation, and creation. Now, for you to create an exam, you basically need questions. And you can do that by coming here and adding a question. And if you do not want to add a question manually, you can add questions with AI. Again, we have these add questions. Let me see. Yes, you can generate, these generate questions with AI. So you can basically just select the department so that you can get the level and the course, the major. Select the unit, say computer operations, and select the questions type. But again, there are already a lot of questions that has been generated. Now, based on that, you can basically go to direct to create an exam. Let me select computing and informatics department and select level 5 and select manage operating systems. And here you give the examination name. For example, today, paper. I will go ahead and select the intake to be, let's say, the January 2026 intake, and maybe the same unit. Let me select the same unit. This is the institution. Of course, it allows you to only select the institution that you have. It has already been selected for you. The date, it selects automatically the current date, but you can, of course, schedule for a different date. The duration of the exam, it's usually it is usually 180. So that is 3 hours. You select the exam mode. This one is written, and you select the exam type. Basically, we have the CATs or the POEs, and we used to have the end terms. Of course, we still have them for those who are still training cycles. The number of sections is basically the exam that you will need. And once you have selected the sections, it will automatically add the marks as they are expected. The right header is what you want to see. We have the Kenya National Technique like that. Let's say 2026. What you want to see on the top left and what you want to see on the bottom left. I mean top right and the bottom right. So once you have done that, you can proceed to create an exam. As you can see, it tells you that you already have 292 questions available. You may feel that those questions are not enough to select from to create your exam. So basically, if you feel like they are not enough, you can just click on this button and it will generate questions for you. What if like 292 is a lot of questions? You can just accept it and proceed to generate. But sometimes you will find that the unit indeed does not have even a single question. Trainers have already been using this to create exams. That is why you can find that there's already so many questions for this particular unit. Some units have even more, others have less. A new unit will have 0 questions. So this model allows you to generate questions with AI with a single click of a button. As we wait, let us see how far as you can see, it has generated the short answer questions. It will generate the essay questions and it will generate the multiple choice questions. A lot of units do not have multiple choice questions, especially now that we are moving to modular that supports oral. But why do we still keep them? I will show you why we need them. When training, you can be able to use the multiple choice questions for a pre-assessment or a post-assessment during the session. As it generates, let's see where the session plans have reached. As you can see, it has proceeded up to the 34th session out of 46. So it has generated the larger number of the sessions. Now, if you are to go back to generate the records of work, you will be able to generate the records for all the sessions. Back here, it has generated the essay questions, remaining with the multiple choice questions. So like I said, the questions depends on whether you want a new choice of questions. So we can close and refresh. Once you do that, you can be able to add questions manually. This is all questions. You can add, this one is a section A question. Section A, as you can see, it is a short answer question. Section B, you can proceed to the next page and select different questions. I want to add, this is a short answer question. You can see a lot of questions here. But if you want now, let's say to add the essay questions, you can just click on essay and add them. And maybe this. And once you have added enough, the system will tell you that the section B marks have been exceeded. So it will not allow you to add more. You can come back to short answer and select more, of course. And if you try to add a multiple choice question, it will tell you that there's no valid section for this question. So it follows strictly the structure that has been provided for this creation. However, you may find that you do not have enough time to sort through the questions. You want to create the exam as fast as possible. Remember, our AI models have been trained to make sure that all the question covers the standards that have been provided. That is why you can see a normal question has these questions. This is an MCQ question. A short answer question will have a rider, for example. It makes sure that the standard is followed. The stem, or which is also called the rider, is included. It makes sure that the marks have been distributed well. You can see it has the parts of a question, and even for the essay questions, it will first explain. It will make sure that it gives a good foundation for the question, and the parts are very, very, very well articulated for the student to be able to understand and to answer the question. If you do not have time to select, don't worry, our algorithm can do that for you. So you can just click auto select. The system will sort through the database and select questions for you. As you can see, it have selected the section A 40 marks and section B 80 marks as expected. If you are not happy, you can reshuffle, you can shuffle and find different questions. If you're not okay with it, you can shuffle again and you'll find different questions. Once you have done that, you can preview the exam. And you will see that the system, again, has already formatted the exam. So all you need to do is to download it, print it, and give it to the student. How do you do that? Just click on the word. So the word button generates the question as a Word document. Once it has created the document, you can be able to open it and edit it. But before I do that, I want to show you that the system, once it generates the questions, the AI generates both the questions and the answers. Meaning that once you have created an exam, it will also create a marking scheme. So you can be able to come here, look at the marking scheme, and also download it for use. So you'll have the question, the exam, and the marking scheme. Now, once you have opened the exam, you'll see it is perfectly formatted. So you don't need to do anything else. All you need to do is to come, print it, maybe go through the checks that we normally do, of course, but I can confirm that the exam is perfectly formatted and can be given to the students immediately. Again, you will be able to find the marking scheme that you have downloaded. So of course the exam comes with the marking scheme and it has the answers provided. This is the marking scheme, written assessment marking scheme. And this is the first, it has the answers. Section B also has its own answers, as you can see. So basically, you get the whole package. Now that you have generated an exam and a marking scheme, if you ever want to find it again, just come to exams. Of course, you can come to exams from the dashboard, or you can view all exams here with this button. Now, back to our dashboard. You will be, as we have explained, you can be able to generate all the documents that you need as well as the examinations. So one last part before I give back to Joel. You can create a practical examination. I'll select the same unit. So we can call it maybe again Keynote and let me call it practical. So the intake is, let's say, again, January 2026 intake. You select the level, of course the institution will be selected, and you can select the date and the duration. Like I said, a normal practical exam takes 3 hours, but this time you'll select practical. Practical paper is usually not divided, and then you can add the headers as you have agreed on your rubric in the institution, and you can create an exam. This one will bring you to the page where you can select tasks. Again, this model will come to tell you that there's already 18 tasks available. This time I won't even need to generate more. I'll click continue anyway. If you generate more, it will select for you. Again, you can add the tasks manually. You can see it. You can add the tasks manually, but you can also auto select, like I said. And once you have done that, the system will auto select the tasks for you, as you can see. And once it has done that, you can try different tasks. Yes, it will select different ones. And once you have done that, you can proceed to preview, and you will be able to see the first task, second task, and this paper again comes with a marking guide. But before that, you can download it as Word, and you can see the header as we added it, and you can download the marking guide. The marking guide is what we refer to as the observation checklist, the one that you use to mark the practical. As you can see, once you have opened it, it will come with the details of the student, requesting the details of the student. The first task, this task was created a while ago, so that is why it does not have the outcomes. But I want to go to the third task. As you can see, it has the marks available, marks obtained, and assessors' comments. Marks available, marks created, and it is very, very comprehensive. Again, this is we have also downloaded the students tool, the candidate tool, and you can see that it is here. Of course, again, formatted fully. So you can just print it, go through it, and see whether the students can do it, and provide them with it as it has been created. I will first stop there as I pass it back to Mr. Joel.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, for that coverage. You've done a lot of you've covered a lot. That is from the exams. We are able to generate, that is the assessment tools, either written or practical, and the marking guide, that is the marking scheme. We are able to generate them, and then we are able to generate the other three, four items. That is the learning plan, session plan, assessment plan, and record of work. So all those items, it is easy using the system. Once you get used to the system, it becomes very easy for you, and it makes your work very easy. Now, sometimes you find we have issues with attendance. So every time maybe you are being asked a register, then in terms of attendance, you have issues. So I want to present something on attendance very fast. So I want to present something on attendance. So so as a trainer, once you log into your account, and this is 100%, this is what I do. I can even log in with my account. Let me just log in with my account, the real account. So let me log in with my real account, and I'll show you what I do it. So in terms of attendance, I will come down here. These are the classes that I have been assigned to me. So these are the classes that have been assigned. That is ICT Technician Level 6, ICT Technician Level 6, that is different unit. and ICT technician, library information science, different unit. So all these, all these all these class, how do I do my attendance? Like an example, this class. So I'll come over here. Every time maybe you want to, we have given priority to trainers that they can be able to assign themselves classes. Of course, as we move on, this is supposed to be done by the HOD, but the HOD has a lot of roles. So we've given priority to trainers. They can be able to assign themselves classes. So you come over here, manage classes, and allocate a new class. So you're going to check a class, maybe computing and informatics, then the program, maybe you're training ICT technician level 6, and then maybe computer essentials, then the intake, and then the semester. So you select everything, and then you allocate yourself that class. Now, once you allocate yourself that class will come over here. So we'll have all your classes here. So here we have sessions and manage attendance. So what will be happening, let me just, let's allocate ourselves one class so that it will be easier for us to be, it will be easier for us. Let me just assign myself a class called um, ICT technician. So I just want different 259. Yes, 250, September 259 or 261. Let me just 261 for January. Let me term one, and then year of study, maybe it's one. Let me allocate myself that class, and the unit is computer essentials, and let me see, allocate. So once I allocate myself that class, it will come over here. If you look at it, this is the class computer essentials. It will come over here. One thing that you're supposed to do, it is to look at the timetable. Though Lawrence will look at the timetable. So you're going to look at the timetable. So, and if maybe you're not using our timetable, then if you are using your own timetable, maybe you have a system that creates a timetable. So utakuja hapa and click on sessions. So mostly you find it will ask you how many sessions do you have. So over here, you look at session, schedule repeating session, schedule a single session. So if you don't have, you have just one session in a week, with a schedule a single session. But if you have multiple sessions, so with a schedule repeating session, like maybe what we have in so I will say computer essentials. That is what I have. I don't need to have a description. It is going to give you a start date and the end date, then the current semester. Then, if you look at modular, based on, remember there is what we call contact hours that we are supposed to have. Remember the contact hours and notion hours. So you have to take into consideration that the contact hours that is supposed to be there. So if you have maybe once you do your calculation, it becomes like 12 sessions in a week. Maybe every session it's maybe 2 hours or 2 hours. So maybe you have a session on Monday, and Monday maybe you starting at 7:30 a.m. Then maybe you have it another one on Thursday, maybe 9:30 a.m. and maybe another one on Friday, and it starts at 1:30 p.m. So, and then the time in terms of minutes, so maybe it's 2 hours. So every session it's 2 hours. So you continue and do a repeating schedule repeating session. So once you do that, you can be able to view the details here. So it will show you that all this from the first day of the term mpaka the last day of the term, which is over here. which is over here. So I can go back and maybe check and tick registers for this class. Let me see who we have here. So the same class, which is this one, computer essentials, manage class, and then I will come over here. Once you do your settings, everything goes well. You'll never have any issue. So you'll never have any issue. So I want for computer essentials level 6, this class. So if you look at this class, it has 2 students, but just a minute, let me. So computer essentials level 6, that is 261. This, and then we click apply. Now what will happen is that this class already we hand some student. So your work is just marking. Mark to just mark over here. So like an example that we add. So if it is an absent person, so you just click on like that. Just click, and this is how you mark your register very fast. So I can be able to mark. Already we've done the settings whereby that for today's demo we can be able to backdate in terms of the dates. Let me just mark very fast. Mark very fast up to today's date, and then you can be able to see the result at the end. So very fast. So being empty shows that this person is absent. So remember, if you look at the dates today, we are in on April 21st. That is on a Saturday. So let's go. So we had scheduled our class up to, if you look at it, we have scheduled our class. Sorry, so we've overdone it. So today is on it is March. So we have scheduled the way we have scheduled our class. So we are in March. So we had it on Friday. The last class was on Friday. That is Friday 20th March. Friday 20th March. So this was our last class, and let's hope that everybody was in. Once you're done with that, and if you have somebody who is absent, you can come over here and do some marking for that person. But by default, this one will show that we have people who are absent. So you click over here, save. So once you save the document, then it will show you that over here we are absent, 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 present, and all that up to the last one. So already we have saved our, and then we can be able to export our attendance in terms of Word. So every time maybe HOD requests your attendance. So kazi yako wewe ukishafanya marking, you can even use your phone, just do your marking. So every time unaenda ukifanya marking of your attendance. So every time unaitishwa attendance, so you just come over here and you click export. So it will come over here. You see your attendance. It will look like this. Enable editing. So this is your attendance, and it is
Yes, I think we have lost Joel again to network issues. So let me proceed. What he is explaining is that for the sessions, for the sessions that you have, the sessions that you have, you will be able to create and manage attendance. And how do you do that? Is these classes that you have allocated yourself here. So you has computer essentials and computer operations. So you can come here and manage the sessions. And once you come and manage the sessions, you can be able to schedule. That is what he just did. You can edit actually the schedules so that you can be able to change the session dates. For example, the session days during the week. And you can manage attendance. This is a very important part. You can manage attendance, and you do that by pulling the the attendance list. Now we have this. You can mark all the students and maybe the one that is not in. You can mark like that. Maybe unmark this one, unmark this one, mark this, unmark this one, mark this. Maybe they were all in. Like that, like that, like that. Let me go up to February 20. Like that, like that, like that. Maybe you make sure that you have marked the attendance. So I'll just proceed to go to 30th. Now as you mark, as you can see at the bottom right of the screen, it keeps on saving the attendance so that you don't lose it. But once you are done, this is February 19th. Let me mark to up to March 20th. This is March 10, 12, 13. So basically this is the regular mark sheet that you have, only that this time it's digital and it is saved in the system, and this is a very important information that can give you key insights. Yes, let's just get there. Let me unmark this because we have not gotten there. It's March 20th. Now I can just come here and basically save it manually. And once it has been saved, you can see the ones that have been ticked, the ones that have been checked are present, the others are absent. So I will click on export attendance, and you can be able to view the attendance as it has been exported, the full of it. Yes, you can see the students that were absent, that were present will have a tick, but the ones that were absent will have a cross, that is an X. Basically, it makes sure that everything is well done, and they have this. So this is the last part, and they have the attendance summary. It has an attendance summary showing from the classes that have been attended up to this point, how many, what percentage has this student attended? Again, very important information. I'll allow Joel back. Thank you. Back.
So thank you so much, Lawrence, for that. So already we've looked at the attendance, and as and the way I had said that in terms of attendance, I wanted to show you something again. So if you look at the class that I have, a class that I have over here, uh, this class, a different class. I want to look at the different class. So if you look at the session that we have, you can even be able to see, you can be able to see the attendance of this class. So attendance, if I click over on attendance, so you can be able to see ICT technician level 6. I want to have a different class so that we are not bound to just one class. We want to have a different class so that it makes our works a bit good. So let me look at this class. So if you look at this class, this is how they have been attending classes. Uh, and you can see this is the attendance. It has not been marked uh, for the other days. And if you look at, if you try to download this one, so this one shows you it has a lot of students. And this is the example that I was giving. You don't need to check one by one. You can check over here. You can put your cursor here and check all. And come over here, check all, check all. And if this one was student was not in, then you can just check all and check. So you can check this again. You can check this again. That is, you can check this again, check this, and this one make sure that you, if you have a very long list of students, then it can be able to, it is easier for it to it is easier for you to be able to check a very long list of students. Once you're done checking, then you can be able to save. So I wanted to show you two different, and then again you can do the export. And once you export your document here, so you'll have this document the same way we hand this document, but I want to show you that this one has not, it is not complete in terms of, so we have other 2 weeks, week 12 and week 13. So we have 2 weeks that are remaining, week 12 and week 13, so that it comes to an end of that week for the same student. So it becomes easier for you to mark the attendance. Very easy. So if you embrace the system, then your work becomes very easy. Now, then after that, I want to very fast just go back to dashboard. There is, we have upgraded and added something else. There is what we call CDAC practicals. There are practicals that are ongoing. So for the practicals that are ongoing, how have we embedded that we allow the trainers to go to examination room, then issue the trainee with exams, and then we are supposed to have mark sheets. So we have already added CDAC practical summative mark sheet over here. So every time maybe you want to create to have a mark sheet, so you just click over there, and then you select the group. Maybe this is the group that you have, or the groups that you have assigned, and then you have maybe the intake, and then you load. So it will come fully formatted the way the CDAC mark sheet comes, and then the series, and then over here will you'll be able to enter the internal and external and moderated marks. So how do you do that? So you come over here and switch to view mode. So you'll click over here, switch to view mode, and then switch to edit mode, sorry. And then over here now you can be able to, so you can be able to edit. So you can be able to edit each and every space. So if this, according to the moment I do the marking of the exam, amepata 90, then we have this one. The external has maybe 96. Then we have maybe 65, then 77. So as you continue, 22 and maybe 32. So as you continue, let me just finish up this one, 55, and then the external has maybe 57. Then we have 655, external has scored 56, 56, and then internal has scored 79, and external has scored maybe 90, and then we have Over here, he has scored maybe 92, 90, and over here it is maybe 40. And then for the last person, it is 33, and maybe over here it is 35, or maybe 70. I want a deviation over here. Now, as you do the calculation, then the deviation over here, it is being calculated automatically over here. So as you do the calculation, deviation is calculated automatically. So once you're done with that, you can switch to view mode, and over here we have all these. And then during registration, these the student are supposed to input their registration code. So over here we'll have their registration code populating. So for now, they are blank because already we have not input their registration code. Then down here, so the internal assessors, so we need the signature, the date. So these one are done manually because this one has to be signed, and then once they are being approved, they need to be stamped and then taken to, we have the institution stamp and then taken to the CDAC offices. So once you're done, then you export to Word. So you click over here, you export your document to Word, and here is the document that will be exported, and enable editing. So it will come fully formatted, and it has calculated that the internal mean deviation is equals to internal minus external, and then the mean deviation has been calculated for you, and we have the internal assessor, then external assessor, and then we have the center manager, then the signature and the date, and the institution staff. So that is how it will become fully formatted, and for that series or for that class. So that is how we've embedded. There is an improvement that we've done for the mark sheet for the summative assessment. So every time maybe, and you don't have to keep hard copies of this. Every time you need it, you just come over here, select the series, load and then you can be able to print, or you can be able to export to Word. Very, very, very easy. I think that is uh, that is it. Then the last thing that I want to check to show you, it is on before I usher in Lawrence, so that he can come in and be able to do the rest of the part, and then we can close. So let me look at the last part. Uh, the last part, which is the HOD. Having that we have the HOD who is monitoring, HOD has a very powerful dashboard, and I want to just to show you one of the parts. I will not look at all these parts because there are so many. Some of them, students will look at it. There is this one of these parts that I want to show you. It is called assessment oversight. So this is the part that we issue to the CDAC officials the moment they come, the moment they are reviewing their curriculum, they are reviewing the POE. So you find that this part over here, assessment overview. So the moment you give them over here, this part, their work is to view the assessment that have been done and to certify whether those assessments they have the POE. Like an example, we can have maybe a class that is being taught by let me just go to ICT technician level 6. Let me just filter by a certain class, ICT level 6, and maybe they want to check on mobile application. Let me go to mobile application, one of these classes. So if you look at mobile application, which is over here, and the group ICT technician level 6, ICT technician level 6, and I want ICT technician level 6. this class and maybe apply. So you find that this class, we've filtered this class. So you find that on this class, uh, on this class, we have practical 1, practical 2, practical 3, and we can be able to see the details of those practicals. So you can be able to see that, and then we can come over here and view the marks. So this person called this person has been graded, and we can be able to view this. So once you click on view, we can be able to ascertain that this exam, which she has 68, it is the same one which is over here, the marks that has been awarded. For this person, this is assessment 1 for this practical. So practical 1, alipata 60, he got 68, and we can ascertain that it is 68. You go to the next person. So this is so the moment when they will come, they will say, I want to see this file, maybe for maybe Joy, and then Joy had 72. So they just click on view, and it will load. And if the document, the moment you are doing the scanning, so it will show that, and they can be able to go to look at this document, whether the document is variant, and if it has all the pages. So it is 72 as it runs the other pages. It was a practical, and the practical was marked very well. And down here, we can have maybe some evidence that was embedded down here. Let's see whether, yes, we have some evidence of that mobile app, and the marks that was assigned was 72. So once they are able to look at the first one, they can go to the next one. So if let's go to a written, so they'll come over here, click on for a written. Let's look at the for the meter. So let me close this one. So they're going to check that for Micha got 80%. So which is over here. Francis Micha got 80%, and the document is here. And this is how so the document is here. So this is how the document looks like. And we have all the pages for the question, and then this is what was marked. So I want it to load so that you see how it was marked. And so these were the first page, second page, section B, and then let it load for the other sections, and then we'll be able to see how it was marked. So these are the next pages over here. So you can be able to view the next person is Christine. So you can be able to click on Christine again, and you can be able to view Christine achieved a certain marks. So Christine got 78, and we can be able to, once it runs, we can be able to ascertain that Christine actually got 78 marks. So this it helps us so much the moment the CDAC official comes, because they are just having an oversight of the POE that we have. So we don't have the physical files. All what we have is supposed to be there. It is a document that has been scanned. Remember, the system is supposed to assist us so that we minimize those big cabinets the institutions have, those big offices that the institution have. They are working on cabinets, and those are the cabinets that we. So this is the marked script. This is the marked script, and up to the last one. And as we've seen, this is the marks that was awarded for that person. So the same case, this one for a different person again. And again, we'll have the marked script. So this is the marked script, the way it was being marked. So, and then again, the same case, the person had 79 for Christine, 79. So these are part of the dashboard. In this one, make sure that for a certain class, it is easier for you to be able to check as a HOD. All at the moment they see that confusions, you just give them the credentials and they can be able to look at different classes. So your work is to select a class, and then maybe once you select the class, and then you have the unit that maybe you want, the unit over here that you want them to check. So if it is communication skill, if it is computer essentials, or the unit. So your work is just to select the unit, and then you'll have this bar whereby you just look at the marks, and once you click on the marks, then it becomes very easy for them to view the document that was attached by the student. And the best thing is that that document was graded. Then there is this part whereby we have for the trainer. Just want to show you another part for the trainer, because sometimes you have students having issues with maybe credentials. What do you do? We've assigned the trainers. So we have assigned the trainers to be able to help the uh, the trainers so that they able to help the trainee. So trainer, and then so if maybe you cannot be able to see a certain or student has an issue with the system, there is down here we have given a button which is called help a student with account. Remember, most of the time, student always you have student, maybe you've told them, maybe you are support the moment you are doing registration, you are in January intake. By mistake, they register in maybe May intake with a different year, or January intake 2025 instead of January intake maybe a certain year. So you have over here, so you can just click on help student with account. So the trainers will help student with account. So like an example, maybe a certain student, maybe let me just, you can search maybe by, if the student has 8890, I don't know whether we have somebody like that, or you can just search by admission number or by name. Let's check whether we have a student with the name Micha. So, or Jane. See. So we have different Jane, like over here, we have Jane Eren. So you come over here, you'll edit, and then what you're going to do is that you will be able to place this student into the correct with the correct details like their name. If they have forgotten their password, you reset their password. If it is a department here, you can check and put them into the right department. If it is the intake, they have selected the wrong intake, you put them into to the right intake. Enrollment, if it is they have selected the wrong class, you put them into the right class, so that now you are able to view those students. And I hope I have done all what I expected to do for the two things, that is helping student with account, and once the CDAC officials for the dashboard that we all usually give them so that they can be able to check the POE they deserve. So I'll take it back to Lawrence. So Lawrence, welcome back, and thank you for listening. Thank you, Lawrence. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you. I will be covering the other features on the HOD's dashboard. So let me share my screen. I'll go back I think I'm sharing the wrong screen. Just a second. Yes. Now, the HOD is the head of the department, and the HOD is able to manage their trainers and their students. And that is all in addition to what they do. Even without the system, what the HODs do, they manage their trainers, they manage their results, and they also oversight the assessments, like Mr. Joel was explaining. Just a second. Yes, and as they do this, they are able to, they are expected to manage their accounts, or to manage the accounts of the department without basically without leaving their departmental roles, and also remaining as part of the trainers. So I want to log in with the HOD account. Just a second. All right. Yes. So I will now come back. Yes. And this is a HOD account. And the account allows the HOD, number one, to perform their duties, basically as trainers, to oversee the department. And the first thing I want to show is managing students. If a student in your department has an issue and the trainer has not been able to address the issue from their end, they will come to the HOD. And the HOD can edit the student details, they can edit the enrollment details, and they can delete the enrollment. They can also add a new student, of course, a new student that has been enrolled and wants help creating their account. The HOD can be able to create a new account for that particular student. HODs can view the curriculums for different units in the system, and they can, of course, like explained, they can view the assessment oversights. So the next thing they can do is to manage teachers. So let me open. They can view the trainers in their department, and they can edit the details of this particular user, that is the trainer. They can delete the trainer, and they can assign units to this particular trainer. This is very important. When the unit is assigned to that particular trainer, the trainer will be able to mark the attendance of this unit, that is of this class. So for example, assigning them to train a unit called MOS. Let me just go through the selection process. ICT technician level 5. Manage operating systems, and they can select the term that they have been allocated, and they can select now the intake of that particular major, which gives us the class. They can add manually the year that the class has. It is manually because a lot of institutions have different naming methods, and then you can assign unit to this particular trainer. We can view the HOD. Let me go back to the viewing where the assigned classes are. And in addition to that, the HOD is the only one who can add PC weighting. Remember, the PC weighting document is used to generate the assessment plan. And since the PC weighting document is very important, the HOD is the only one allowed to add it. The other thing that they can do is manage assessment groups. The assessment groups is the ones that we saw that allows the student to submit their POE, the portfolio of evidence, and be graded. Of course, the trainers can do that, they can assign themselves, but the HOD has the assessment, the oversight and the power to interchange, for example, to interchange to a different teacher or to a different trainer, to add a new allocation from their end. So they can just choose a teacher, for example, let's say, and search for the unit. Let's say manage. Yes, they can search for a student group, let's say ICT, and assign them a unit in that particular group. It is very important because if the trainer makes a mistake when assigning themselves this particular group, the HOD will be able to migrate this class to a different trainer. Another thing is they can do is to view the attendance sheets, as they are expected to be able to have access to all of them based on the classes that have been assigned to those particular trainers, for example. I'll go back to here. The other thing is they can be able to view the mark sheets again based on the classes or the groups, the student groups that have been assigned. If the marks have been assigned, they can view them and download them from their end. They can also be able to download transcripts for students. For example, they can view the details of the student. Module 1, for example, they can download this particular transcript. It was shown for the students and from their end. So if the institution wants only the HOD to download the transcript, instead of using the auth token, the HOD downloads the transcript and they stamp it for authenticity. Then we can close that module for the students to download their transcripts and only get them from the HOD. That way, if the institution wants to regulate or maybe to minimize the students downloading the transcripts because of other reasons, like maybe school fees or any other reasons, they can be able to use the HOD to generate the transcripts and give to the students based on that particular criteria. Now, one of the features that the HOD needs is to be able to create and manage a timetable for the institution. This is very important, it is very critical. And so I am going to do the timetabling session, and how the process of creating a timetable is done inside or within TVET LMS. The first important thing, or the most important thing here, for you to create a timetable is to create a semester. Of course, the semesters will be created by the administrator and they will be there. Once these semesters have been created, the HOD, that is, the HOD can come back and assign the trainer, that is the trainer, a particular assignment. These the assignments that we did, the ones that we said this trainer is training this particular unit to this group on this semester. So basically making a class. Once that has been done, the HOD then does something else. They add departments, buildings. For example, we have a building in the school. Let's say it's called we have maybe library block, we could have even a new lecture hall. Let's say we called it the mechanical block. the mechanical block, and a shortcode could be ME or mech. So the department for mechanical. So you can just give a description, you don't have to, but let me just give one. The mechanical department block. And you can see now we have the mechanical engineering block. So it seems we had a mechanical building, but let's have this mechanical engineering block. Once the building has been added, then you are sure that all the buildings are there. They can be able to add rooms. So they will come to manage rooms, and they will be able to add a room. There's a short there for a shortcut to manage buildings if you don't see it. Then you can add a room, and I can call it Mech 1, for example, and say the capacity is 30 students. The building is mechanical engineering block 1, and it is a lab. Let's say a classroom, for example. Common room means that it is not assigned to any department. Common room says that any department, any class can access and use that building. If it is assigned to a particular department, then you can have, let's assign these to computing and informatics because that's the HOD we are using right now. And availability is if it is available or unavailable. If it is undergoing maintenance, you can add that it is unavailable. Then we can save the room. And once you have saved the room, you will see the Mech 1 room in the mechanical engineering, and it has been allocated to computing and informatics department. I want to add another room, Mech 2, that is a common room. Say Mech 2. The capacity is 15. Let's say maybe 50. No building. Yes, I'll select mechanical engineering block. It is also a classroom, but it is common. It is available to all departments, and save it. Now you'll see that this one is common. Therefore, you can now go back to the dashboard and proceed to making sure that the time periods in the institution are as expected. Institutions may have a morning session, an afternoon session, and an evening session. For example, we can have a morning session starting from 8 to 10. Maybe let's call it a mid-morning session starting from 11 to 1, and an afternoon session starting from, let's say, 1 or 2 to 4. Some institutions may have periods, like 5 periods, 2 hours each, starting maybe as early as 7:30 up to maybe 5:30. Once you have confirmed that the periods are as expected in your institution, you can now proceed to creating the timetable. This is Chronos Timetabler. It allows you to create timetable based on the class. For example, this is the class view, based on the teacher, based on the rooms, and the departmental view. The timetable is synced across the whole institution, meaning that a room that has been taken by a session from another department, our conflict intelligence algorithm will make sure that the timetable is perfectly placed across all departments. The other important feature of Chronos Timetabler is the auto-populate feature, which by clicking this button, it uses an AI algorithm to place the sessions based on the number of hours that has been allocated. The first thing you select is the term. The semester, the system selects the timetable, that is the current term or the semester, the current one, based on the dates that you are in. The department, it will automatically select your department for you as the HOD. And then you can search for the lessons, for example, manage operating systems, which has not been allocated, but you can have a network and you'll see it will come here at the top. You can search for something like database, and you can see it will come at the top and you can be able to allocate it. Now, once you have selected this, they have already been selected, you can select a class. So by selecting the major and the intake. So let me have January 2026 intake. Once you have selected the class and you have loaded the timetable, you will notice that the classes that they have will come at the top. And if they have already been allocated slots, they will be highlighted like this in blue, and they will tell you that these are the classes that they have. So if you allocate, for example, computer essentials, you can allocate it there, and it will tell you about the conflicts that could affect this particular trainer. For example, this particular trainer already has 2 sessions scheduled for this day. Adding more may lead to burnout. It tells you that this one, however, can be bypassed. However, this particular trainer is already scheduled at this particular intact. Also, if it has a conflict with the room, it will tell you. Another way to add is to double click, and it will allow you to select a session to schedule and the room that you want to schedule. So you can try to drag anywhere and it will select you. When there is no conflict, it will allow you to select the room you want and the session will be scheduled successfully. So that is a way to manually schedule sessions in the timetable. If you want to export this timetable, you can export as Word or PDF, as you can see. And let me just open the Word document that has been exported for the class, so you can view it in case you want to add any, to make any edits. You can view the timetable for particular teachers. For example, the trainer Lawrence Munyaka, you can load the timetable and it will show you the sessions that they have on this particular date. The next one is the room view. You can select a room like Mech 1, the one that I just selected, and it will show you that this particular room will have this session on this particular date or this particular day. And then we have the departmental view, which is the grid that is put on the notice board of an institution with all the sessions on that department. You can export it. You can export the matrix from this end. You can export the matrix and you will be able to see the sessions as they are, and it will be exported as a 3 document. Once you download it, let me go to downloads. Yes, you can be able to view it from your end as downloads, and you can be able to, this is the Word document. I downloaded it really. Let me see. Yes, once you have exported it, no, it has not been exported. Oh yes, it has been downloaded. So it will be exported as, yes, department. Oh, sorry, it was saved in a different folder. And now you can be able to, let me see that. Yes, here it is. and you can be able to print it, and it will show exactly the whole timetable from Monday to Friday, and showing all the sessions that have been allocated in that timetable. The goal was to make it as easy as possible for all HODs, and we even went further to make it easier by adding our automatic class placement. So I am going to go back to the timetabler, it's called Chronos, and reset the timetable. Resetting removes all the scheduled classes. Yes, and once I have reset, when I select class, let's me maybe have January 2026, you can have some, you'll see that the timetable is clean. It doesn't have any allocations. Before you do anything, you can just allow our algorithm, our AI-powered algorithm, to schedule the classes for you automatically by clicking this button. Once you select auto-populate, it tells you that it will automatically place remaining or unplaced sessions in available slots. Meaning that even if you had placed halfway, it will not remove the placements that you have already done. It will just place the ones that are remaining. Once you do that, it populates, and you can see it has populated the essentials and operations. It has populated all the classes. Let me maybe use this one, and you will see all the timetables have been allocated. So we have a feature that allows you to auto-populate, to create the timetable in the fastest way possible using our AI-powered algorithm. The next thing that you can do based on that is, of course, the export features from the timetable. And this export feature will allow you, of course, to download, share with the trainers, and this system creates the sessions automatically based on the ones that you have selected. So creating this timetable, this particular timetable, will provide the details of the classes to the students and to the trainers themselves. So it is as comprehensive as it gets. It is as easy as it gets, and that is our goal as TVET LMS. I will stop there and get back to Mr. Joel before we show you about the account for the principal, so that you can be able to gain insights from the data.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, for that. Coverage of timetable. I want us to. I'll just usher you in again so that you can finish up. We know that we've gone beyond our time. That is, we had anticipated that we are going to end at 12, but due to technical issues, that is the reason why we have extended up to, we're going to give ourselves like a few minutes, and then we are going to wind up. I want to usher you in, Lawrence, because on my end I think I've done everything that I'm required to do. I don't know whether there is something that is remaining from my end. Maybe you can, if there is, maybe you remind me. But just
Right. Okay.
continue for the principal's dashboard.
Right. So this is the, let me share my screen again. Let's go to, let me close these tabs. This is the principal's dashboard. I will hide the information for that. But you can see from the principal's dashboard, the principal is able to get all the information and the insights. And one of the most important things that they want are detailed reports. This is analytics, and this is the curriculum. You can see the curriculum as added by departments. These are exams as they are created and the frequency of which they are created. These are the users as they use the system. You can see which department has the highest number of users. Once you do that, you can filter these reports through a custom range. For example, from a start date and an end date, you can use the day, you can use the last 7 days, you can use the last 3 months, for example. And once you create that report, you will be able to see the distribution and how the users have used the system, the exams and how the exams have been set and created inside the system. You can be able to view the curriculum as it has been added, and of course an overview again of how many sessions have been created. When you go to reports, we were in the reports. Let's go back to the dashboard. And there is a very important report that you can do. This is the attendance report. The attendance report allows you to view the attendance as it has been created. For example, for this particular term, the whole school, if the school has tracked this number of students, it shows which, this is the attendance summary, which student and their attendance percentage. You can filter to view less results. For example, if you filter for the computing and informatics department, you will see the students tracked and see all the students and their attendance percentage. You can still go even further and select students of a certain major. So you will be able to see them and see their attendance percentage. If you go further, you go to an intake and select maybe you can select maybe the January 2026 intake. See how they have been tracked, which students have been tracked, and you can change these filters to be able to view the students that have been tracked based on the filters. Again, let me go to, yes, you can select also the units and see which students have been tracked. So this checks whether the trainer has been particularly has created the sessions and how many sessions have these students attended. Another part is the daily view. It is today. You want to see today is a Saturday, so there is no attendance, but you want to see whether today a certain person was in, or whether on a certain date a certain person was in. For the daily view, it tells you basically present or absent. I will go to February and select maybe 20th on a Friday or maybe 19th. And then I will update the report. You see, there was no attendance for that date. Let me go for maybe 22nd. No attendance for that date. But if the attendance was recorded, once you go to the daily view, you will be able to see. Let me try a date that may have been. Yes, you can see like 24th February, the attendance was 68 out of 86 session bookings. The students that were tracked were 58. The ones that were there or that were marked either present or absent. And it will give you the list of the students and whether they were present or absent. So for example, if today is a school day, not on a Saturday or a day with events, and the trainers are actively marking the attendances as they happen, then maybe you can be able to see whether they were present or absent. If you are trying to look for the status of a certain particular student on a certain day, you can be able to see whether they were present or absent from this daily view. The last report that is quite important is the monthly report. The monthly report gives you an executive summary of what has been happening in that particular month. The assessment analysis, how many practicals have been done and how many have been graded. The written, how many have been given and how many have been graded. And the oral. You can be able to come to the institution statistics, view the practical assessments, the written assessments, and and at the end, you will be able to see what the TVET LMS team has added to this particular report. You can see what is happening or the features that are being added on this particular report. Remember, of course, since it's a report, you can export it. And that brings us to the end of the principles dashboard. So back to you, Mr. Joel.
So thank you so much, Lawrence. And I think from the principles dashboard, then it is an admin dashboard, but that one is I don't know whether we need to do it because that one is changing the institution name, the colors, and all the things that are pertains. That is the logo and all that. I think I can be able to do that from my end, so that it becomes easy. I just need the credentials for the. Just a minute. Let me share my screen. So for the admin dashboard, this is where we control. This is where we have a control for the. This is where we have control for for an institution. So in this dashboard, we can be able to control the people. We can be able to see the total users, the active users, the active student, the pending, and question bank task. So this one is just majorly for the admin. We can be able to have created exam, random question, manage exam. I just want to brush through this academic department. So if there is an addition of academic department, this one will be majorly be added from this section. Then add major, add a unit, view department. So the moment you come over here, you click on view department, you can be able to see the departments that are in the institution. Then again, we can manage units. So we can be able to manage units. We can over here, it's where you have user approval. So the moment you put you register, then over here it is where we have the approvals. Like an example, if you look at in this case, whereby review now. So we have some pending issues of some which are, so you see we have approved, but we have others which are not approved. So this is where we can be able to approve users or not approve users. Then the next part is institution. Over here we have assessment report, and then we have institution settings. So if you click on institution setting, over here it is whereby we are adding their logos. So over here we'll have their logo, their name, their abbreviation, where they are placed, the postal address, the contact, the official email, and then we have their website and their colors, their primary colors, and then we save. So for an institution, I've just picked one of the institution. So for an institution, this is how, that is their branding and their identity, all the details pertaining that institution. So I've just picked one of the institution. These details are the ones that are every official document or every document. Like an example, the exams will have the logos, will have the names. All these details will be pulled from this point. And again, for an admin can be able to manage all this. So the same case, settings, manage groups, all those things, manage semesters, and then we can be able to manage account. So that is the dashboard for admin. I just wanted to brush it through so that from the principal, we have an extra person which is ahead of over the principal, who is we call always call the admin, and the admin of the institution, who will be able to manage some of these things. Maybe you've changed your email account. Then who is supposed to update the email account? Then it is being done at this point. Then from there, I think we have something called notification. Uh, if there are some messages that are supposed to be sent to the all other person, they are supposed to be sent from this place. So they will come over here. Maybe you want to send in terms of bulk for all the teachers. So you say the subject and then the message. Once you click on send, then those notification will be sent to all the teachers. Then maybe you want to send to all the HOD. Then there is a subject. Then maybe for all the HOD, maybe let's just have a simple HOD. We can have meeting on Monday, Monday. Then message, reports of the term, 20 January 2026. And then you send the notification. So this one will be sent across. So this one will be sent across to all the HOD. So if I come over here and log out, and once I log out, then I log in as a HOD very fast. We log in as a HOD, and you find that we will have that notification. So we have over here, we have a plus. You can see over here, you have a plus and one message. So there is this meeting for HOD, that is on Monday report. So our notification works very well, so that it is easier for the admin to communicate to either the HOD, the trainers, or the trainee. And that is it. I don't know whether from Lawrence you have something else.
Yes, the administration accounts are created for the institutions. We have the features for the trainers. Of course, some are limited for the individual accounts, and the others, most all of them are available for the institutional accounts. Thank you very much for watching and staying with us. We'll be holding other keynote sessions as we proceed to improve the system. We hope to bring all the trainers out there on board to start training the smart way. So we will end the presentation here. Please feel free to reach to us through our channels as indicated on the website and email address. Thank you.
So thank you so much. Lawrence, can you hear me? Lawrence.
Yes, I can hear you.
So thank you so much for listening to us. Lawrence, you can unmute your mic. So thank you so
Yes.
much, all our viewers, for listening to us, and we expect to have another update, and this update will be coming maybe in the next 1 month, and keep helping us, keep following us, and keep assisting us. Let's help one another to grow one another. We thank you so much, and God bless you from our end. Bye bye.
Bye.